Greetings, QCS Bill fans, and welcome to Sarah running? What is this? Oh, Sarah's got 3 totally different smartwatches on and standing in front of a beautiful field. Oh, isn't that great? So let's see what's going on here. So she has the Garmin Forerunner 55, the Samsung Galaxy Watch 6, and the Fitbit Versa 3. So we'll be going through these and showing you how they work on a treadmill, how they work in the real world, and what the apps look like, and as far as accuracy and everything else. Now, for a little bit of backstory on this, Sarah has been using the Versa 3 Fitbit for years. This is like her 3rd Versa 3 Fitbit. The only drawback to the Fitbit is that it really has a propensity to die after about 18 months. And so she has replaced it several times. Several times actually under warranty. Because for whatever reason, she just kills them. For whatever crazy reason. She had gotten the Garmin, and honestly, the drawback to it is it's not touchscreen in the Forerunner 55. So you constantly have to use the different buttons on the side to navigate it. So for the price, as we'll get into the roundup part of the review, it kind of sucks in as far as creature comforts. The battery life is pretty good though. And then she recently picked up a Samsung Galaxy Watch 6. This is her second one. The first one she returned because she hated the battery life and went back to a Versa 3. This one, she actually really loves the app. The battery life sucks. She has to charge it daily. The only nice thing about it is she can charge it while she's in the shower, and then it will pretty much come to a full charge while she's getting ready for bed, and then she can put it on and be ready to go. So it does charge quickly, and you'll see that it has by far the most detailed app out of all 3 of them. The biggest issue with the change with the going from the Versa 3 primarily is because Google bought Fitbit. They have, by doing so, they have ruined the app. The Fitbit app itself was really good. Now the Google version of it is pretty much garbage. So that's the big reason for the change. So let's get into it and let's see exactly what we've got going on here. So first up, we have the treadmill test. So we've got a treadmill with our Forerunner 55. So you can see on the left-hand side, she went a total of 3 miles, average heart rate, average pace, total time to run the 3 miles, calories burned, and then you can go back to the right-hand side and gives you average speed, moving speed, timing, your cadence, max run cadence, stride length. It's actually got some pretty good information: run time, distance, run pace. So that's the amount of time per mile. Calories burned, resting calories, blah blah blah. So it actually gives some very good quality, detailed information on here. The Forerunner Garmin app is actually pretty good. It actually does really well. You can see here we have a cadence graph where it'll actually show you the difference in your cadence and where it drops and droops and what all happens. You can see your pace, The big gap right there is because of the fact that I believe she had a phone call and she had to stop. And then heart rate. So that's all pretty good. And gives you some pretty detailed charts if you're, because some people are more visual than they are granular information and just in a digital format. So, moving on. So this is kind of the turd of the bunch. So this is the Versa 3. You can see you got your duration, your distance, and you'll notice that the distances between all of these is a little different. The Garmin was pretty much dead on out of the box. The Versa was slightly off a little bit. And then later you'll see the Samsung. Your heart rate zones, steps, energy burn for your calories. You got your heart rate graph. And then what zone you're in, whether you're in peak, vigorous, moderate, or light information for your heart rate. And that's it. That is, as simple and terrible as the app is by Google now. No cadence. There's no breakdowns or anything that get into anything more than what you see. It's terrible. It used to have slightly more information on here, and now it doesn't. So, okay, moving on. So from here, now we have the Galaxy Watch 6. And you can see we're on treadmill. We have a max speed, we have our pace, we have a heart rate, max and average, we have a cadence, workout details, so we have a duration, distance, which is actually right smack in the middle. I believe as far as out of the box, the Garmin was the most accurate out of the box. The Samsung had to be recalibrated because it was actually way off. I think it was, she went 3 miles, and I think the Samsung said she went like 3.5. So it was like really off. She recalibrated it, and now it's dead on. Steps, gives you your splits for your different miles and your times. Gives you heart rate zones. So maximum, anaerobic, aerobic, weight control, low intensity, heart rate. Then we get into here, and then you've got your workout details. You've got your speed chart versus your heart rate. And then you have more sprints and other information. There's actually another slide in here that I didn't get added in, but it will give you options for improving your cadence, improving your footwork, and stuff in here. It'll actually give you workout tips inside the Galaxy app, which is actually very cool. If you're more of a novice to intermediate runner, or someone who likes to work out, but you don't necessarily want to pay for a full-time coach or trainer or anything like that, the Samsung software from the factory gives you basically a workout partner slash coaching capability built into it, which is actually pretty cool. So, all right, moving on. All right, so here you can see she went for a real run. So where we live in Twin Falls, she started at the visitor center at the Prime Bridge, down by the Snake River, and then went all the way to the Evel jump site and back. And that's basically 3 miles. So you can see it gives you this is on the Garmin, so it gives you a map layout of your path that you ran. Gives you your distance, your heart rate, your calories, and all your other stats, just like it does on the treadmill. It also tells you the temperature, the weather, and everything. I believe this is actually, well, yeah, it's a Google map that they're using. Your charts, so it gives you your average pace, and then it also gives you your best split, so which for her was 7 minutes and 46 seconds. And then her heart rate, you can see she holds very consistent. She's right there. Her average is 165, her maximum is 178. Yeah, so she holds a very consistent heart rate. Pretty good for a gal that runs 10Ks during the summer. And then this is the next set of Garmin charts. So you have your run walk, and then you have your heart rate zones. So the time duration that you're in that zone for. So you're in threshold, maximum, aerobic, easy, and warm-up durations. Gives you your cadence, and then you can also see where her cadence is kind of like all over the place. Moving on. All right, so now we're gonna go to the Versa. So in the Versa 3, what you see is what you get. You got your elevation gain, which is 80 feet. And according to the Garmin, it was 150 feet of elevation gain. So, yep, the Versa is very much off. You got your run, so you got your pace times. So that's your splits. Gives you the same Google map and everything that the Garmin does. Duration, distance, zone, because it has a target zone it wants you in all the time. Your average pace, your steps, and your calories burned. That's it. That's all you get. You don't get any other information on a run, which honestly sucks. It's like, come on, Google. For a squazillion-dollar company, you could have done better. You should have, honestly, you should have just left well enough alone and just let Fitbit do their thing, and just leave Fitbit alone. But you just had to mess with them. Anyways, moving on, because I digress. Going to the Galaxy Watch 6. Alright, so we got our map, which is basically the same. Got your workout details, which is basically the same. Your laps, your heart rate, which they split it up very similarly to the Garmin. And then you got your advanced running metrics. Now, neither one of the other two do this, which is kind of cool. Asymmetry tells you, which is basically if you're favoring one leg or the other when you're running. Contact time. It's how much time you're actually on your feet. Your feet are actually contacting with the ground as you're running. Flight time is the time between steps when you're contacting the ground. So you can see it's orange, green, and blue. Alright, so blue in the advanced running metrics is great. Green is good. And orange means you need to improve it. So she needs to improve her contact time and her stiffness, according to the app, which is probably actually fairly accurate. And then we also have our blood oxygen level, but you can also hit the drills button right there, and it will show you different exercises you can go in, and will help you improve different aspects of your run, which is extremely cool. The Garmin doesn't do that. So moving forward, we got our flight time graph, regularity, vertical, stiffness, and then moving on, we've got our full workout details, so duration, distance, calories, steps, pace, speed, elevation, gradient, and heart rate. So there you go. That's all of it. So to really give it a good wrap up, the Garmin is actually a really good product. The issue with the Garmin in the Forerunner 55, if you want the same features as the the Galaxy Watch 6, but in Garmin, you're going to pay about $100 more. You're going to be in that $400 to almost $500 price range, which honestly sucks. Yeah, that's kind of hosed, if you ask me. Garmin's got a crazy wide option set in their product stack, and it's fine to be able to do that because they have different products for different types of people, which is great. I mean, their their most inexpensive option for a smartwatch is like $150. Their most expensive is somewhere around $1,000 or $1,200, which really I think is bat crap crazy. The Fitbit basically is the Versa 3. That's the more ideal one. It's a great product. Battery lasts really, golly, for like a week. I have a Versa 2 that I use basically just for yoga and when I get on the elliptical, and it works really well. The battery will last about a week. Only takes about an hour to charge, so it's super great as far as that goes. Drawbacks to it, now that Google has bought it, is the app is terrible. They've slowly started adding some functionality back to the app from when it was just the Fitbit app, but not nearly enough. And there's a lot of, if you get on Reddit and some of the others, there's a lot of people really complaining about how Google has just trashed the Fitbit app. So yeah. Anyways, moving on. Going to the Samsung. So the pro with the Samsung is it gives you so many options and it'll do so much stuff. I mean, it basically is a smartphone on your wrist. It will do a lot of the things and run a lot of the apps that will run on your phone. But you can run it all from your watch and never have to really pick up your phone that much, which is awesome if you want more of a smart watch experience. If you're looking at it for more of a fitness, personal trainer, health assistant kind of a thing, it works very awesome for that. The app is extremely detailed, and it gives you all these tips and everything that you can do to improve, different aspects of your workouts and your sleep and stuff like that. So it's excellent for that. And the price is good. The price is about $250, so puts it about the same as the Garmin, but you get way more features. Makes it roughly about, I think it's about $75 to $80 more than the Versa 3, but you're getting a lot more for that. The con to the Samsung is the battery life. The battery life sucks. And part of that could be the GPS sensor part of it. The other part of it could be the touchscreen. I mean, there's a lot of things you can go in through the menu and you can shut off on it to get better battery life to where it'll last several days. The drawback is depending on what you're doing and how you're working out, it disables a lot of the features, so your statistics will not come out nearly as detailed. Which, for some people, that's an issue. And so, that is the con. Is if you're using it for running primarily, you're probably going to be charging it at least once a day. advantage, I guess, is that it does charge fairly quick with a high-speed charger. So that is a plus. I mean, granted, yes, you're going to have to charge it depending on what you're doing. You're going to have to charge it once or twice a day. At least you can pretty much charge it and let it sit there for, 30, 40 minutes and get a charge real quick and then move on for the rest of your day and never actually have it die on you. So that is kind of the advantage. So, but yeah, that's it. So, like, share, subscribe. If you want to see more of this type of content, especially with the amazing Sarah, then leave some comments below, and we will work on more stuff like this. This was kind of a Sarah project just because of the fact that she is really into running, and the way Google completely wrecked the Fitbit app really ticked her off. And so then she started shopping for different options, and the Forerunner was the first one she came across, but the lack of touchscreen is just something she can't live with, and I don't blame her. You're paying that much money for a product and it doesn't have a stinking touchscreen. WTF. Seriously. And then the Samsung, yeah, you're going to have to charge it, but it really by far is the best all-around value. And it's probably one of the better built watches. So that's it. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.